Bull or bear for tonight's opening in the world markets. And I'm rolling my original coin here. Comes up a bear. Let's see what happens. Good afternoon, folks. What's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Got the live Robbie's cam up down in Robbie's Marina, actually, down in the Florida Keys. I think this is Isla Mirada. Yep, it is. And let's see if we can see anybody get their arm taken off by a vicious tarpon. Actually, you can see the tarpon underneath there. They like to hang out underneath those things. And you can feed the tarpon for free here. All right, well, we're not here to talk about feeding tarpon or pelicans and lazy pelicans and tourists enjoying themselves down in the Keys. I got to say, I wish I was down there right now. We're going to talk about precious metals and what's going on this week and what might go on this evening. And let's see if this young lady gets taken in. Hang on one second here. Got to see the rest of this. See those tarpon down there? These are actually small ones. Normally they get much bigger than that even. But you get a chance to feed them at Robbie's. If you're ever down in the Florida Keys, or if you live in Florida, it's a must-go-to place just for the fun of it. All right. Well, here. Man, it's warm out there too. I don't know about you folks, but it's warm. Man, what a week with precious metals. Friday closing up close to that $2,400 mark. I'm kind of curious to see what happens, and then silver wanting to touch that $29 mark again. Platinum just languishing in that sub $1,000 range, around $935 currently. Palladium just as unloved. Two unloved metals, platinum and palladium. And when's the best time to buy stuff? Not for a quick turn, but when is the best time to buy a commodity? When it's absolutely at its rock bottom. You got to admit, it's not its rock bottom. We've seen platinum get in the high sevens at one time, $795, $800 in the last couple years, kind of languishing. Palladium, going from 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, and recently, to where it's at right now. And I would bet you that the platinum to the gold ratio and the palladium to gold ratio, etc., is way out of whack if there are such ratios out there being published. Easy to do yourself anyway. But you'd have to look at the past ratios, and I can tell you they're way off. Two good metals, in my opinion, to own if you don't mind putting away some money in them and waiting, the waiting game, so they say. But metals were really surprisingly strong on the close. Now, don't forget, folks, tomorrow the market is closed. I believe it's Good Friday. I think it's Good Friday. No, it's not Good Friday. It's a Monday. But I believe the markets are closed and won't open. Let's see. That's just 422. Yeah, I forget. Maybe it has something to do with Good Friday. I don't know. But markets are closed in New York tomorrow. But that means everything I said before, that's a lie. I hate using that word, but however, same thing. The world spot prices open in 5 hours and 57 minutes. So basically 6 hours. We're going to see where we open. And of course, the coin here, I don't know how often the coin is right. I should actually take a ratio of that, but the coin says we're going to see a bear market tonight. I don't know. I mean, but I wouldn't doubt it. And Ted Butler talks about these big massive short positions by commercials and others that are showing huge losses on these gold prices and silver prices being where they are currently. And they have a reason to go and monkey hammer, spoof, whatever they do, these prices down as well in the criminal crime X markets. But not tomorrow so much. Well, I guess they can in the world markets. They do as well. But I'm kind of curious to see what happens tomorrow, or tonight in the world markets, and then see what happens tomorrow in thinly traded markets, especially when New York is supposed to open and close. You're not open, but it's not going to open tomorrow. But when New York's supposed to be running, let's see what happens tomorrow in thinly traded markets if the markets get hammered. But I think we'll see it tonight. Kind of, we'll see the general direction where we're going to go with this. But meanwhile, my opinion, buy the frickin' dips. Again, that's just my opinion. If you're like-minded like me and you like metals, it's just an opportunity to buy at a lower price. Goodbye. $20 silver. I mean, I think we can all confidently say that without feeling like an idiot if it drops some. And I think we can almost all say goodbye $2,000 gold as well. I mean, in the event of a complete economic collapse like we saw in 2008, yeah, it could very well happen. It's very possible. Everything falls apart. That doesn't mean that people are selling gold or silver. It just means the market in general fell apart. Derivatives have fallen apart as they should. Maybe I'm a little harsh on those, but that's the one reason you'll see a lower gold or silver price, sub 2,000 or sub $20 price. But folks, I think we're just making new levels, like on silver when we went from $10 an ounce, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. There's a lot of resistance to these stupid $5 marks, these increments. I know, sounds weird, but I've kind of noticed it myself, and I've been doing this for 40 years plus. There is a resistance points, and $30 is one. And I don't believe it's like a real, resistance point. I don't believe it's a psychological mark, and I believe it's a psychological mark. I'm going to go more into my conspiracy. A psychological mark that big moneyed interest use, just like when Powell starts to talk or something, when he talks about raising interest rates, and how the talking heads and the idiots start saying, well, real rates are going to really affect the price of gold, and so. Bullshit. Again, the timing of when these markets get hit prior to or after the Fed speak or prior to the Fed speak, unemployment reports, thinly traded markets during holidays, like we'll see tomorrow. So I kind of suspiciously feel, and again, the commercials and the shorts are on the hook big time. This kind of move we've seen from 25 to almost $30, and gold just tremendous. They're on the hook big time, as Ted Butler talks about. We're going to get into that a little bit. I'm going to kind of share some things in Ted Butler's newest newsletter that we should talk about. Meanwhile, I think I want to talk about a few things here, especially kind of what pissed me off and probably pissed off most intelligent Americans. Most intelligent people, let me just say, would be pissed off after this. And when I say intelligent, all right, well, let me not, politically and economically intelligent. And I got to tell you, folks, even the people I love the most and the most dearest in my life, people that are around me, my loved ones, my family, my friends, a lot of them are really clueless when it comes to economics, when it comes to politics, especially international politics and stuff. There's a small percentage of us that actually enjoy reading about this stuff and studying about this stuff and learning. And I guess I'm one of the few, but I have a bad habit of conveying how I look at myself as somewhat educated in these subjects. And I tend to look at Americans in general and say, well, he's got to be educated this and this. I give people too much benefit of a doubt for the most part when it comes to that. Now, I believe everybody's a genius in their own areas, no matter who they are. I believe everybody has their own genius, you know what I'm saying? But that genius doesn't always convey into other areas. So what I'm more or less saying is that a lot of the public's stupid, when it comes to politics, when it comes to money, economics, and especially when you have a crooked media system that just lies to you consistently, and even people that say we know the media lies to us, what do they listen to? They still turn on CNN or Fox or NBC or CBS or NPR. Shameful that place is. Good post by a friend of mine, and I've been spending a lot more time out on X, Twitter, by the way. I like the format somewhat, although I did get booted from Twitter for like a 24-hour boot for telling a joke about, what's the quickest way to lose 15 pounds of ugly fat. I'm afraid to say it here, something off your head, right? So I said that on Twitter, and I got kicked off this account for like 24 hours. Algos, so much for algos, and there's no one you can really complain to. So one strike against me out here, but I sidetracked here. I'm talking about VBL, which is Vince. I really like the guy. He's super smart. Excuse me, let me turn that off. Oh, that's my mom. Hey, Mom, I'll call you back. Super smart dude, and understands understands the marketplace very well, much better than I do, bonds and all that stuff. My specialty really is, I like politics, international politics. I like economics to some degree, and I also really am a expert in physical metals, and being a frontline soldier in the precious metals business, in the retail and wholesale business. I understand the product, I know the product, and when you follow gold and silver for decades and decades, you kind of get a macro picture, especially when you start to meet the smart people to tell you what's really going on, like Ted Butler, and like Vince and other guys. So, anyways, again, I've sidetracked around myself. Look at this. The flag-waving frickin' morons. I mean, the place where you would expect 1% of America, people that understand politics, economics, and other such things that you would be involved with in this type of job. You would think that these people would be part of the 1% out there that actually maybe follow politics, boring as it may be, and economics, as boring as it may be. You figure they'd be maybe the 1% or less. No, not in the places where we need them most. 99% of the people in this room, especially the people waving flags, are complete fucking morons. And I said it, there's the F word for the day. Maybe a couple more coming up too. Complete morons. Complete morons, all right? Vince is kind of pointing this out as well. Look at them. They're not celebrating Ukraine. They're celebrating the money they're going to get from lobbyists who ask them to vote for this, all right? Those lobbyists will make sure a cut of the money that's being confiscated, that's right, is given to them. That's what they're celebrating. And I think, I think Vince is actually overrating these people. He's actually, well, maybe not, but, their intelligence. These people are just plain stupid. They don't know what they're waving that flag for. They don't know the flag they're waving. They don't even understand how crooked and corrupt and how much we were involved in upsetting the apple cart in that region. But I'm not going off in that rabbit hole either. I'm just saying, you'd think that 1% of the smart people would be working in this job, be these people. But no, folks, we got the 99%. They may be brilliant doctors, lawyers, socialists, whatever it is they do. Sorry, I almost said it again. But they are complete morons. All complete morons when it comes to international politics, when it comes to economics, and when it comes to understanding the profit in peace more than war. All right, so I'm not going to go off there. Vince, I agree with you 100% here. Really, it is about lobbyists, and they know they're all going to get their pockets lined. Not only are they going to get their pockets lined, they're not going to get any smarter. They're dumb as effing rocks. All right, I think I got that out of my system. Oh, God, it makes me want to run for Congress, Jared Moskowitz, his seat's going to be coming up next year. Maybe just for fun, I'll do it just to screw with them. Stupid bastards. Excuse my language, it just upsets me, and it should upset most Americans. And you know what? All this money is going outside the country, and what's not going outside the country is going to domestic arms dealers, domestic military. The military-industrial complex will get a large section of this besides the kickbacks that these mother effers will get. It's a bad deal, folks. And as far as the border and as far as illegal immigration, not a effing thing fixed. Oh, man. Well, since I'm in politics, let me just go over Zero Hedge, one of my favorite. And I'm going to get into something here, too. I'm going to read about Ted Butler's article. I'm going to tell you what the best deals out there are in precious metals as far as physical products go right now. And I'm going to answer comments of my last video, which I like to do. And a lot of you guys come up with good questions I like to answer. And what other cool stuff I'm going to do? Well, I'm going to give you an advertising about myself. My name is Brian Kuzmar. I own Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. Been doing this for decades and decades. Second generation dealer. I know this stuff really well. So if you're looking to buy gold, silver, or precious metals of any type, I even do rare coins, and I own a state business that does jewelry and stuff, other things. But let me just focus on precious metals. I am certain that I can beat APMEX, SD, JM, Bullion, without a doubt. I can probably beat a lot of the locals here in Florida, especially. I can beat, but I can also beat a lot of the online guys. I don't want to mention names, but the people I respect, guys like Andy Scheckman. I really respect that guy. This is who I model myself after, is good people that know what they're doing. But I will still beat their prices, folks, even the good guys out there. So meanwhile, boy, that was a big advertisement for myself. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum, we are a brick and mortar. We do not have a website. However, if you're looking to buy quantities of gold or silver, we can certainly probably, if you don't have a great dealer like me in your town, we can probably certainly beat most people that you're looking at online. Well, that's it. I'll get back into my self-aggrandizing advertising here in a little bit. And that's kind of why I do this. But got me calmed down, actually. Calm me down a little bit about thinking about these morons in D.C. But look, it's going to get heated up here again. I'm going to go over kind of give my opinions. That was a sip of coffee here. A little too early for wine. There you go, man. I mean, despicable, man. These people are just despicable. I would say that 99% of them are stupid, but there are a conniving 1%, and you're looking at two of them right here. There are a conniving 1% that do understand this, and they're and again, they're not stupid, they're just evil. They're just bad people, folks. Evil and or just greedy, all right? The rest of them are stupid. But meanwhile, is there a roadmap for what's ahead? Let's get out of there. sanctioning the IDF over alleged human rights abuses. And let me tell you something about war, just in general. War is a human rights abuse against the people, whether justified or not. Governments should be charged with human rights abuses for getting in wars. If there's a country that gets in wars, there should be some big international trial thing out there, a group that goes and scoops them up and says, no wars, you bastards, because war is nothing but one giant fucking human right abuse. And you'd think that with the technology and the smarts that we have, and I think we're getting dumber to some degree, more reliant and more told what to do, but I don't think we do self introspection. I think, is that what it is? I don't think we really have critical thinking anymore. The devices that we're looking at, like the computer, and especially with the younger generations, is meant to indoctrinate, not teach. But I digress. All wars are human right abuses. Gold miners. I just don't understand gold miners. It's not my business, but what I do know about gold miners is that you are not buying gold. You're not buying gold. You're buying a company, and you're buying a company that may have sold its gold way ahead, may not have any gold, may be looking for gold or whatever. You are not buying gold when you're buying gold miners for the most part. What you are buying is a company. You are buying the person that runs the company. You're buying the CEOs. You're buying how profitable the company is or not. Do they have prospects or not? You are not buying gold. So if you are a gold buyer and you don't understand miners, stay the hell away from them, because again, it's and I admire people that can buy gold miners. All right, got one flying by here. Looks like someone's having a bad day. Oh, prayer to them. Okay, so if you are buying gold miners and you don't know what you're doing, stay the hell away from those things. I mean, the one thing that you can do well is you can buy gold and silver and platinum in physical form and put it away and pretty much be assured that just the collapse of the currency in the place that you're living is going to make sure that you stay at least up with the game. But gold miners, you are buying a company. And if you want to buy a company, learn how to investigate and study about companies, and you'll become a good trader in miners as well. Debt matters. Why it's time to position the country with low outstanding debt. I don't know, man. I don't trust any countries out there. And why do I want to invest in other governments? What we're really saying is not countries. We're talking about governments. No government, I think, has been profitable out there. No government has done the right thing overall. All large governments suck, all right? Even small governments suck, but just less because they're small. So my point is, well, it's time to position countries low. Keep your money safe and keep your money close. And you know what? I said it before. The best investment you can make in your entire life is two things: your education and your business. Either one of those will pay far more dividends and far more money than Wall Street will, and gold and silver will for the most part as well. Gold and silver is about wealth. Gold and silver is about mostly, I look at it as wealth preservation. That's the primary thing, wealth preservation. That's why I like gold and silver. That's why you should like it as well. If you're looking to make doubles ups and triple ups, and you expected to make a lot of money in silver in the last few years, and double up and triple up, my friend, you got into the wrong investment. You should have stuck with cryptos or something like that. There's where you're going to get your triples, doubles, quadruples, and stuff like that. Go to a casino. You got a better chance of winning there probably. However, investing your money, to me, is the most important investment you can make is in yourself or your business. Those are the ones that'll pay off the most. And then it's all about wealth preservation, because the old saying, especially as you get older, you spend the first 40 trying to make it, and you spend the next 40 trying to keep it, or something like that. Well, let's see what's going on out there. Man, Dubai. See what happens when you cloud seed in a desert? And they did. They were seeding the clouds right before this thing. That was, oh my gosh. I guess Dubai doesn't have any, is not any different than any other government out there, loaded with morons that thought they knew how to change the weather. Maybe 1% of them did, but those were the evil ones. That's why this happened. How okay. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Preventing it from modernizing, climate. The narrative. Well, perhaps that's true, but I actually think that African countries are kind of waking up to the nonsense. Biden to withdraw. Good, nothing good there. Eradicate critics. Here's what I don't like. I don't like the idea of eradicating or getting rid of critics of anything, even critics of things that are absolutely 100% true. I mean, critics of people that say the world is round. You know what I'm saying? The flat Earth people. All right. I know I'm going to get a few flat Earth comments, but the flat Earth people being critics, and round Earth people saying, let's get rid of all those flat Earth people. Let's just eradicate them and make laws that. There should be critics out there. There's got to be stupid people out there. There's got to be uninformed people out there. We can't all think alike or be forced to think alike. It's just a bad freaking idea. All right. I don't know what well, there you go, physiotherapist right there. These are people that I don't know if they go to college or not, but I know they're like therapists. Usually, the reason that somebody becomes a therapist or a physiotherapist is because they were so fucked up. Mentally themselves, they read a few books and they said, oh, I'm going to do this for a living. All right, maybe I'm being a little hard on therapists and physiotherapists, but there you go. It's certainly not. And again, therapy and psychology is not a science per se. They still don't have a freaking clue. They just medicate. Oh, man, you're getting all kinds of my opinions here. I'm going to get off into precious metals because I'm really getting a little too far into politics. Is there anything here precious metals related? Sorry, folks. Some of you like my political stuff that I kind of go off on. And there we go. Well, hey, precious metals. Great video. The Tragic Ripple Effects of Historical Unsustainable Debt by Matthew Piepenburg. I like this guy a lot. And Van Greiser's partner, Von Greiser. Both of these gentlemen, to me, are like spot on. They really are. I mean, if I had a smarter sibling, or siblings, these gentlemen would be it. When I say smarter siblings, I like to say that people are smarter than me. I like to surround myself with people that are smarter than me too. I'd advise that for anybody out there. But these gents are really nailed it, spot on. Understanding the gold tailwinds. Good video. Highly recommend you watch it. And I think it's on the By Greiers. They're gold and silver sellers. I think they have a vault and they store stuff. Which is something, if you're so wealthy and you got millions and millions and millions of dollars and, you can't just store it in enough places, these are the kind of guys you would go to, okay? And I know they're probably going to be unhappy that I didn't say smaller investors, but I don't know. I just, I see the usefulness of that vaulting services for people that just have way too much to store. And that's a good problem, too much money. And what does this all have to do with everything, folks? What is Vince's, supporting Ukraine? And the first thing, too, you know what else was in that bill? FISA, which allows warrantless spying for probably the rest of your life and your children's lives, and just pure dystopian bullshit, okay? What else was in that bill as well? Again, no funding for any kind of illegal immigration status. Listen, you stupid bastards, either open the border and stop giving benefits, or close the border, let a few in, and give them benefits. One or the other, you fucking morons. Excuse me, I don't know if you heard me say that, but wow, it's a F-bomb day, man. Sorry about that. All right, so all this stuff, what's it come into? Why do you want to own gold and silver? Because here's the reason, folks. Well, here, on top of this, I missed the big one. Russia, they want to confiscate Russian funds. For anybody that thinks that's a good idea, even my friends and listeners out there, it's not. It's not, man. Not even close to a good idea. It's a horrible, horrendous idea to take those funds that we see. First off, this is why you got the BRICS nations coming up. Another reason why you're not going to sell treasuries. Another reason dollars are going to come flood back to the United States is because they don't trust us. What we did was we bullied our way into Ukraine in 2014 in a coup. Then, all in an attempt to probably corner Russia and corner their natural resources, get rid of the people that are in there, or really try to help a coup in Russia, try to get military leaders to get rid of them so we could control and the Western countries can control Russia. That's my conspiracy theory, but man, there's a lot of proof and evidence that supports it. And here we are again, another rabbit hole I'll go down, but here we are again taking their money. We're going to take their money after we created all that. So all these other countries, even if they agree with us, got to start looking and saying, what if America disagrees with us one day? Over something stupid, climate change. They're going to steal our money? Yes, we are. not we Americans, not you and I voter out there, but the effing morons, the 99% of more economic and political morons that you see in this room, especially the flag waving motherfuckers, all right? Oh, this video is not going anywhere. I can tell you that for sure. And wow. All right. Wow. I think this is a record for me. I'm sorry, folks, but man, I'm just angry. I'm just angry at the stupidity of the people that we put in office. All right, and you should be too as well. And what does this all lead up to? Again, why are we buying gold, silver, and platinum? We're buying them a hedge against these morons. It's really not a hedge against money. It is kind of, but a hedge against these morons as well. A hedge against a Fed that keeps printing, and a hedge against political problems and economic problems that we are definitely incurring and going to see more of. And the end result really is this right here, the death of the dollar at some point. I don't think I will live to see the day. In fact, there's people out there talking about a gold exchange going to happen, or not a gold exchange, but the United States is going to back the dollar in gold. If they ever were forced to do that, trust me, you and I are not getting gold. It would be like when FDR closed down the gold window and prevented Americans from owning gold basically, more or less, but prevented us from using gold as money, okay? They gave us the paper equivalent, not of gold, but silver certificates and stuff, but they prevented us from using gold as money. They gave us the paper instead, the fiat. Folks, do you ever think that politicians are going to give up fiat? Ever, ever, ever. If you are, you only delude yourself, okay? They're never going to give up fiat. They'll reinvent it. Maybe they'll put a gold backing that is a collateral for other countries, but they're never going to put gold and silver back in our hands. Neither is Russia, neither is Europe, neither is South America, I don't think. It would be paramount to the second coming, or whatever you want to say. But folks, this is why you want to buy gold, silver, platinum, all this bad shit, and a graph to prove what it's doing. This is the consumer price index, purchasing power of the consumer's dollar. I mean, I'm going to just go backwards. There's the year, there's the lifelong trend. Downward. There's the decline of the empire, because the dollar is really the empire. It's not the United States is the empire. It's the dollar is the empire. 10-year, look at the 10-year. That's pretty damn sad. There's the 5-year, and as you can see, since Brandon got in office, it's just really been a shit show since then. But what do you expect for a Democrat? Clueless, economically freaking clueless, and again, politically clueless. Now, all of a sudden, freaking warmongers on top of it. All right, I skipped out of where I was. I'm going to talk about Ted Butler here now in his article. There's something I wanted to read here. The first and most important fact is that at the time of the sharp sell-off, the only market open was comics. Okay, we talked about that. And was this the right one? April 13th, yeah. I'm going to kind of go down to the bottom here. By the way, if you're not subscribed to Ted Butler, you're in your talking head on YouTube, or you got clients, or you accumulate a large amount of silver, I would highly, highly recommend that you subscribe to him, okay? And I think I've gotten a few subscribers this past. I don't get anything for saying this, by the way, folks. I get I don't get a free subscription. I don't even get a thank you from Ted, even though I'm thinking if he knew that I was pushing his stuff, that he would thank me. I'm sure he seems like a super nice guy. And Ted says here, what this means is that while I was careful to only include the losses accruing to the COMEX gold and silver futures holders, it is now clear that significant additional losses have taken place by short holders of golds and silver call options. I would say to the tune of many additional billions of dollars. Not having the exact amount of existing naked call options, I can't be more precise, although I would very much like it to be. It's important to remember that call options purchase are when hundreds of dollars of money involve little money to purchase, and so Ted's talking about billions of dollars of call options that probably been lost right now, but he's also talking about billions of dollars of losses on short futures contracts over the past few weeks as well. Now to include billions of dollars of additionals, think of bonfire the shorts. I would remind you that 16 years ago, the major investment bank Bear Stearns, and I incorrectly attributed that to a layman. My apology out there. I've said it a few times, layman instead of Bear Stearns. But the major investment bank Bear Stearns became insolvent and was taken over by J.P. Morgan. Ted still believes, proximate cause of Bear Stearns' failure was a short position in the COMEX gold and silver futures, which the $200 gold and $5 rally from December 31st, 2007 to mid-2008 caused it to sustain a $1 billion loss in each metal, which it couldn't cover. All right, that was the downfall of Bear Stearns. And Ted says now this is really important, folks. I want you to take a look at this statement. We'll see what happens, but we've just witnessed a bigger rally in gold and silver over a shorter period of time, and it's hard for Ted to believe and see how there haven't been big casualties this time around. More importantly, Ted believes, and again, we'll see it coming up soon, it's a case where the damage has been recorded, but it's just a case where the bodies haven't surfaced yet. Ted's speculating right now that the banks are in big trouble, folks. At least a few banks, probably bullion banks, are in big trouble. There's been a couple guys out there that comment in my videos, well, don't you think that they've leveraged, maybe in London, those contracts? So sure. No, they haven't. Ted has a great explanation for that. Why would the longs follow them over to London and do that? Well, anyway, complicated, but no. These banks that have these huge short positions in COMEX and the futures contracts, these commercial banks, they are not they're not hedged in London or anywhere else. And if anyone's got proof that they are, please provide it. Don't just talk about it. Where are we going from here? I guess that's really about it for my whole rant there on politics mostly. Wow, I went full political today. I haven't done that in a while. My last video from last week, $2,500 gold and $30 silver, we still yet to be seen. And again, I got a question mark there and an exclamation mark. This week, well, I know we're going to see it. Look, there's my exclamation mark and there's my question mark. This week, though, we'll see tonight where it's headed. But we didn't see it this week, obviously, unless we consider tonight if it jumps up dramatically. Let me sort by, as I always do, sort by newest first, and then, of course, go to the bottom. Go to the oldest ones first. I got to blow this up because my eyes are not as good as they used to be. Easy to read like that. And I'd like to thank all my viewers out there. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for sure. And follow my videos. And stay tuned for my advertising soon, too. Crypto Fetish, salute and cheers to you as well, sir. Thank you, Aries. Greetings to you, Rubber Toe. And Ek, especially. I'm not quite sure Ek to what, but ECK especially. Okay, lost me there. I have to look stuff up all the time, acronyms and things like that. So I'm really sorry about that, Joe. But thank you for watching, Brian. Yeah, I don't know. I think we've been in a long-term oh shit moment, but we're that saying that you can't see the forest through the trees. You know what I'm saying, that, or what, that because of the trees. I think that's kind of what we've been sitting in, because I believe that we've been in a bull market in silver since I'm going to say 2016, 2017, a long bull market with some pullbacks and back up. And then really, if you ask me, I think we've been in a bull market since the 70s when gold and silver, when we became full out Keynesian. All right, but that's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. Minister 3 for specials. Thank you. It was nice to meet you and your son. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate that. And it's always nice to see young folks too. Of course, it's nice to hear your son loves my videos. Thanks. Precious metals are running because the Ponzi is imploding. More than likely, Salty Dog. Thanks for watching. Hope you're well. Sick and Tired says Friday looked like a total rigor to me. It was. That's because it was. And as Ted Butler pointed out, and as I said in my video, it was because of, remember, it was the only market open at that time was New York. That was it on Friday. And that's when it got hammered in the crooked Crimex markets, all right? We know what's going on. You do, I do. 1% of us, or less than 1% of us, 1% of us actually know this. The rest of the public is clueless. Like politics, though, maybe a little bit more know about politics. Silver in 7K, I'm not going to try. Gold and silver got their teeth kicked in. I think gold's going to start throwing haymakers Sunday night. Let's see what happens. My coin didn't agree, but the coin's wrong half the time. I think what we saw Friday morning when gold broke through 24 is their proof, is their control is collapsing. I couldn't agree with you more. Sunday night gold. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it kicks them in the teeth tonight. Thank you, Silver, and I appreciate that. Sierra Legacy, great video. Love hearing from your thoughts. I think you're also on The X, I'm sorry, sometimes I'm thick like that. Also on Twitter, one of the people that I talk to on Twitter and see your post out there. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And by the way, folks, I really am starting to have more fun on Twitter. I'm starting to make some friends out there. It's taken a while, but also my fault too. I didn't spend a lot of time out there. But what a great place to discuss this stuff and make like-minded friends. Thank you, Sierra Legacy. Turkey Creek Jack Johnson, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. I'm going to hand it back to you. Wellco Services, you be well as well. I got a coffee mug that says that. Did you give me that coffee mug? I believe you did. Was it you? I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining stuff like Joe Biden now. You know, my grandfather got eaten by cannibals and gave me that mug. God, fucking God. I gotta take a sip of coffee here. I know some of you have read that, his most recent about it, not his uncle or something going down in a plane and getting eaten by cannibals. What part of the American public believes this stuff? Oh, and there'll be someone out there that'll quote that to someone. I'm telling you, 99% of people are stupid when it comes to certain subjects. You know, the subjects that I'm referring to. All right, you know how I get sidetracked. Butler, Brian has converted us all to Butler-tarians. Ted Butler, can't recommend him high enough, folks. He is, in my opinion, and I've been doing this, been doing this for 40 years or whatever, plus. He is, without a doubt, the smartest dude out there when it comes to understanding what the COT reports say, understanding who the manipulators are and how they do it. I think the only thing Ted has been wrong on, and I'm sure he thinks about it too, is predicting when it will end, predicting when this game will blow up in their faces. Ted's been saying it for years. I think that's the biggest fault that I could say. But I have felt the same way. I felt so close so many times where it was going to blow up in their faces. I mean, but I can say the same thing about politics too. So many times where I thought it was going to blow up in their faces, I can say this year it's going to blow up. You know, sometimes, you know, folks, never underestimate the power, money, and stupidity of large entities, all right? And I can say I've done that for quite some time, and maybe even Ted Butler has underestimated the power of these crooks and COMEX and the uselessness of the CF. You know, I've been reading Ted Butler for years, and one of the things that he has always had faith in the Department of Justice. He has faith in CFTC and the SEC. And years ago, and even to this date, I got to admit, I don't have a fraction of the faith that he has. So he's a good man. He comes from an era where he has faith in people doing the right things. Unfortunately, that faith is, I think, has cost him a little bit as far as predicting when it was going to end, because I've not had any faith. I've thought for years that it's going to be a long time before it blows up in their faces. They're not going to do the right thing. But honestly, Ted is such a good guy that he does believe they'll do the right thing. And I didn't mean to go off on Ted Butler, but I've followed his newsletter for enough years now. The context and what he says is absolutely correct. His faith and his belief in fellow regulators and stuff, I think, is misplaced. But I see it more and more in his newsletters that he's starting to realize what scumbags even the regulators are. All right, let me move along. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh, can you let me know what you'd be paying for gold buffaloes, eagles, and maples? Okay, I'm a bit early, but let me do that. In my opinion, all right, I usually make $45-$55 an ounce on gold products over my cost. Not over the gold price, but over my cost. And basically, gold eagles, you shouldn't be paying much more than $100 over spot on gold eagles. You shouldn't be paying much more than $87 over spot on gold maples. I mean, these are my minimum prices, and even these might be a bit high at sometimes. I mean, and Krugerrands no more than spot plus $80. Bars no more than spot plus 87 at the maximum. And I know some of you are going to ask me about silver as well, and I get this kind of, I was going to do this after, but you know what, let's get it done now. Silver, 90% dimes and quarters. You shouldn't be paying more than constitutional silver. Don't be paying more than spot plus $1.75, $2, something like that. Best deals out there are probably going to be 100-ounce silver bars. Looks like the premium's gone up a little bit on those at spot plus $2. Don't pay more than that. Don't pay more than $2.30 on 1-ounce rounds. Don't pay more than $2 on kilos. Okay. Don't pay more than. How do you like my don't pay more than? How's that? Because I'll beat these prices even in small quantities. Okay. But again, if you live locally, I can't ship at these prices, folks, unless you're dealing in large quantities. Silver eagles. Spot plus $5 at the most, which are still way overpriced in my opinion. They are overpriced. Forget it. I don't know why anybody would buy Silver Eagles a spot plus $5 when you can get other products for like half the cost, half the premium. For every 100 ounces, that's $200 or more. Doesn't make sense to me. Oh man, I'm getting ahead of myself here, even in the comments. All right. Hey Brian, I like your channel. When I started buying silver last premium, buying 100-ounce bars, put on 80% Canadian silver dollars at half the premium. Yeah, they are, but the problem is they get discounted heavier when you go to sell them. But it's all relative. So I'm not gonna say your buy's bad. Actually, it's not too bad, but not many people understand Canadian silver dollars. So if you have a good dealer that you bought them from, or some people that you can sell them to, you're gonna do okay with those. That's for sure. And I still think way better deal than buying silver bars. I mean, not silver bars, but silver eagles. And I'm glad you guys are independently thinking out there and what you think are great deals. And again, if you're buying it cheap enough, you're good, man. Good deal. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you being a watcher, subscriber. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as well, folks. I believe there's so much they think it's a game. I think they're all thieves. Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct on that, sir. Slowing down buying with prices going up. It's still got a lot of dollar constitutional 2-ounce bar. Cool, too. Very cool. Keep stacking, dude. Buy the dips. That's my opinion. It was straight up tamp like it was. Yep, yeah, it was a tamp down. That's for sure on Friday. But it was actually another crooked, just like the last times. Just like the last 1,000 times. It's crooked tamp downs in the Crimex markets. The ratios are out of whack. You got to believe it's normal because it should be as low as 20 to 1. I agree. Couldn't argue with that. I mean, my ratio is 15 to 30 to 1. On gold and silver. I think realistically, but again, my realistic could be way off too as well. A little rich, but I think I may make a short run. Let's see what happens. Thank you, David. Yeah, some people don't get notifications. I don't know why my videos. I think it's a glitch, or maybe someone at YouTube just doesn't like my F-bombs or what I'm saying. I don't know. Thank you, Yellow Blood. Appreciate that. Come by the store when you get a chance. Ted Butler is absolutely, I'm going to highlight that and give you a thumbs up there as well. I'm going to give you actually a heart there. How's that? Ted Butler is a silver guru, and you're the best #1. Thank you. Appreciate that, Gary Moore. I'll give you a thumbs up there. Can't give too much love to myself there. Boy, that would be big-headed of me, wouldn't it? I must have been busy. Haven't seen my videos in a while. I have been, Christina. I really have been pretty busy. So many things going on in general, between family life and between business and trying to maintain a personal life, of enjoying myself. Yeah, I have been. I really have. And thank you. I hope to see you at Lakeland, I think. You think Comex will lose control of the pricing? They kind of already have, I believe. It's not so much Comex. Comex doesn't care. They just don't regulate their marketplace. Comex doesn't care who's in there, okay? Comex makes a dollar on every frickin' trade that's made, so to speak, all right? So they don't care. That's why they allow the crooked trading to go on, because they still make a dollar on every crooked trade. Crooked, whatever. Comex doesn't care, all right? It's not the Comex that'll lose control. I mean, they possibly could get in trouble, but they'll figure a way out of it, the snakes that they are. It'll be the commercial banks that'll lose control, and just like Bear Stearns, just like Ted Butler was talking about earlier. Thanks, Christina. Hope all is well. And Christopher says the best advice was giving Ted Butler's newsletter and GATA, GATA.org. I haven't talked about GATA in a while. I've got to start pulling out their stuff too. The long game pays. Yes, it does, sir. Clayton, I can trade 1 gold eagle for 2 platinum eagles. Should I do it? It's a longer term trade, that's for sure. I'm not sure when platinum's going to pump. I'm not sure when, how. I know it will. I'm not going to say if, but I don't know when. So that is a really tough call for me. I'd say if you have plenty of gold eagles and you don't mind making that longer call, in my opinion, maybe it's a shorter call. Why not? Why not? 2 for 1? I liked it. I remember a time when platinum was more than gold for many years. And really, I think above ground platinum resources are far less than gold as well. But what does that mean? I believe above ground silver resources are far less than gold. What has that meant so far? But I think it will. And just like platinum, I think it will make a big difference at some point. And like silver, I believe it right now it is. Let's see what else. Thank you, Clayton. Appreciate it. Don't like 1099s. Put your asymmetric risk, limited downside, big upside potential in a Roth IRA. I think precious metals ETFs fall in this category. The problem with precious metal ETFs, if I'm correct, I just don't like them. I just don't like them at all because, if you have an ETF and you're really confident you like, that's fine. But for the average Joe that doesn't have one already and doesn't really need one, why? Why? Unless you have taxable income that you're trying to, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense, especially precious metals. I would be prone more to gamble in the stock market, etc., in my IRA than I would, for example, in my personal holdings, okay? My personal holdings are my hedge, it's my emergency fund, and it's my potential investment. I'd be, again, that's me. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that kind of stuff, but I can tell you that I just don't. And the type of products they put in these ETFs is overpriced. The handling fees that you have to have for storage for an IRA will eat up so much profit. I don't like them at all. I just don't like them. Someone can maybe convince me, tell me why I should. I don't know. Thank you, Walter. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. You're one of the 1% people out there, in my opinion, as well. 1% of the smarties. Welcome to Boyfriend Ted's Daily Audio Blog. You got that right, buddy. I am definitely, what do you call it, a fanboy? I hope that's the right term. And I hope you're living the dream, sir. Are you or ma'am, or whatever you identify as? Michael Rodriguez, are you only doing videos once a week? Yeah, I am. I kind of cut down from the daily videos. It was getting hard to come up with content. It was becoming stressful. It really was. Coming up with content. I just didn't want to blab the same old shit. It's hard. I'm still blabbing the same old shit every week. I just didn't want to blab. I got tired of blab. After 2 years, this is the truth, 2 years doing videos 5 days a week straight. I never missed a day. Almost for 2 years. Not a day. I prided myself in that. I even did a video in a bathroom in a Best Western on a road trip on my phone. yeah. So I was getting very, what do you call it, obsessive about getting these videos done, which was causing me stress as well. And of course, you guys know, no one helps me with these. Really, I don't expect it, but I don't get any, other than my buddy Marcelo, who does the editing at the beginning and the end of these videos. To put a title, blah, 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 and that kind of stuff, and upload them for me. Obviously, as you can tell, these videos are almost like live. I don't cut anything. Nothing's edited except the beginning and the end. But that's kind of pretty much the reason. And I'm hoping to get some time where I can start to relax a little bit and open up my mind and start doing some more videos. Doing politics, too, like I did in the past. And I got sick of doing politics for a little while. But doing politics also gives me the ability to, maybe expand and talk about some more stuff. Let me know what you guys think of me talking about politics as well. If an overwhelming amount of you guys say it just sticks to precious metals, maybe I'll just do that. I'm in the process of buying an Ego, and by the way, nice to hear from you, Michael. Ego zero turn mower. I'm selling 100 ounces of silver and trying to pay for Ego zero turn mower. I'm not quite sure what that is, but awesome. I'm glad you did that for fine. I paid $10,000. Good for you, dude, making some money. Philip Stanton, by the way, definitely give your uncle a hello for me. I haven't heard from him in a while. I'm looking forward to seeing him. And brought me one of the coolest collections I've ever seen in my life. Went to one of them, and up in the top there. Went to my local coin shop last week. Lots of sellers of gold and silver. Guy behind the counter said wasn't seeing any FOMO buying. Yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing, but I'm not seeing lots of. It has been quiet for the last year and getting quieter, progressively quieter in sales of gold and silver. We haven't purchased much either, per se. But we have been purchasing, from people that, forgive me for the term, weak hands. And I don't mean weak hands purposely. Sometimes weak hands mean somebody that has to pay bills. The working class dude that has to pay bills or has to come up with money. He's not selling because he's capitulating. He's selling because So we have seen that. And it's always unfortunate. And I hate to see the working class guys, and they're suffering out there. The working class guys have to give up their gold and silver to pay bills, but I'm glad they have it. It's fortunate that they have it, and the prices are up as well. So good on that. But that's the capitulation we're seeing. I have not seen any, but I haven't had a single gold and silver seller now, and this is a fact. And we buy and sell a lot of gold and silver. I haven't had a single gold and silver seller tell me that they wanted to sell. Every gold, especially people that are sold larger stacks, every single one of them has told me they're selling because they have to pay a bill, take care of something else. Not a single seller has told me they're selling because they're capitulating. They all regret selling. Every single seller we've had here in gold and silver, and I'm not making this up, it's a fact. Because I always ask, so do my employees, every single one of them is selling because they had to. There you go. There's the reason right there. But we are not seeing FOMO buying. I think that generally the stacker community of coins and bars out there represents such a small amount of the American public. I know it's easy for us to look at, people in the street and say, "Oh, he must own gold and silver." He must, but it's no, they don't. They don't, my friends. We are a small percentage of people out there, a extremely small percentage of people out there. Okay. And stackers of physical gold and silver. There are people that own ETFs, they don't even know it, okay? But we are maybe 1% of 1%. I'm making that number up, but I'm just trying to show you how extreme I believe, extremely small the numbers are of people like you and I out there, okay, that buy gold and silver. Michael Matthews, I'm going to take a sip of coffee here in my green Yeti mug, which you guys saw, I guess, in one of my videos on gold buying or buying silver for beginners or something like that. One of my old videos. Mark Hall, I hope you're correct, but someone says silver costs more than gold. I don't just ever see that happening. I just can't possibly see that happening. Maybe I just don't. But wow, what a crazy thought. I mean, again, I'm living in crazy world. We've been living in crazy world, Mark. So anything can happen. Correction: gold $2,500, silver $42. When? No, that's a terrible question to ask you. I know it's gonna be $2,500. I know we're gonna see $42 silver. The question is when. Timing. If you're a day trader, timing is everything. If you're a stacker, it doesn't matter too much, especially if you got some years left in your life. Folks, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum, please call me anytime. I'll beat APMEX, JM, SD, Bullion. I'll beat the local guys as well here in South Florida. We're a brick and mortar, so we do not have a website. Can't go on my website and order gold and silver. However, and that's the advantage those guys have. They can ship in smaller quantities. But however, if you don't have a good coin dealer and a precious metal dealers like myself near you, around you, and you're looking to buy larger quantities of gold and silver, we can still do business with bank wires the old-fashioned way, like some of the other online guys do. And secure shipping and all that stuff. So if you're looking to buy larger quantities and you're not stuck on pushing buttons on a website, give us a call. We can sell gold, silver to you. And if you live in South Florida, even better. Come by and visit us. We'll beat, again, the locals and the big boys online, the 800-pound gorillas out there, and all the respectable dudes out there as well. All right, folks, that's it. Thanks for watching. And as I always say, think for yourself, question authority, and most of all, question what you think you know, because, garbage in, garbage out. And if you don't know what that means, just type in GIGO, G-I-G-O. My father taught me that a long time ago. All right, and that's it, man. You all have a wonderful Sunday. Let's see what prices open up till tonight. And if you're looking to, again, buy any precious metals, come by and see us. We're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. And I got a great staff here. If you don't happen to meet me here, they all say the same thing. We all think alike in here. We're like little robots here. Gold selling, silver selling robots. With a personality too, which you don't get when you go online. And we give a big smile and good advice. And doggone it, people like us. Talk to you later. Bye now.